So we are going to be going over dividing fractions.
Yes.
Ooh. So we have this lovely little chart that Ms. Z created for us. And we're gonna be going through the steps on how we divide our fractions. So we are gonna go through our steps. So step number 1, we have to find the common denominator of the dividend and the divisor. So with our fractions, if we have a denominator that is different, we have to find the common denominator for both in order to divide. Step number 2, we draw the dividend. So here in our example that Ms. Cortez is going to go over with you guys, you will be drawing out a model of your dividend. Step number 3, then you have to figure out how many divisors fit into my dividend, right? So our dividend is our first number, our divisor is our second fraction, and then we have to find our quotient, right? So Mrs. Cortez is going to go over a beautiful example with you guys.
Well said. All right, so when we look at our example, I'm going to keep fact checking myself over there. So first, we need to find the common denominator of the dividend and divisor. Here's my dividend, like she said, and divisor. So I need to change the denominators so that they can be the same, common denominators. So the common denominator of 3 and 4 could be 12. So we changed it into 12 by multiplying. So if you guys look right here, you multiply both the top and the bottom for 2/3 by 4 so that the divisor, well, the denominator could be 12. And then right here we had to multiply by 3, 2/4 times 3 to get the denominator to 12, and then
And why are
the
we
numerator
multiplying
to
by
6.
that?
Why are we multiplying?
Yeah, why multiply by 4 and 3?
Because we want to find the common denominator so that it can be easier for us to draw this out and picture it out.
I had to make sure I was right. Sorry, I just misunderstood.
Oh, it's okay.
You're doing great.
Okay. All right. So now that we changed now that we found the common denominators of the dividend and the divisor, now we can go ahead and draw out our little chart here. What is this, like a, I don't know,
Tape
picture?
diagram?
Tape diagram. Okay. So we know that the denominator is 12. So whatever's in the denominator, that's how many rectangles you draw out. So we drew out 1, feel weird with my finger, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now you guys see that there's 12 little rectangles in my tape diagram. Okay. Let me just go here and undo that because I don't want to throw you off. Just wanted you guys to see that there was 12. All right. So now we need to figure out. Sorry, let me erase this real quick. I don't want it to be too busy for you guys to see everything that's going on. All right.
Beautiful.
Okay, so now we need to see how many sixes, oops, and then correct me if I'm wrong, how many groups of 6 fit in there. So we're looking for how many groups of 6 fit in there, okay? So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right here, this is why we did this, okay? So there's 6 out of 6 there, and 6 out of 6 can be said as 1, because 6 divided by 6 is 1. All right, so one whole group of 6 fits, plus there's some extra right here, okay? And those extra, there's 2 extra right here. So then we put that over our 6. That's the step 3. All right, how many divisors fit in the dividend?
Because remember, we're checking how many 6s fit in the 8. Because now that we have the common denominator, we can cross these off and we don't have to worry about what's not there. We're just worrying about what we have. And we're taking what we have and splitting it up so that each person has the opportunity to be split into 6 parts. So think of it as you have 8/12 of a pizza left, but you have 6 friends. So you want to split up that 8/12 so that each friend can at least have 1 piece.
Yes. So I know it was a lot to take in, and the information was kind of like a lot and tricky to look at. But this is the power of having this video. You can rewind and see what we said again, and keep looking at our chart and keep fact checking us. Okay. All right. So that is our little chart that we made for you guys to follow through with. Now we're gonna go over to an example.
Hello. All right, so I have your example today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first show you the tape diagram. I'm going to go through that process, but then I'm going to show you how you can do it with a box diagram or just do your rectangular prism. Okay, we're just going to go over real quick both. So what I'm going to divide, or what I'm being asked to divide, is 4/3 divided by 2. Is that what we did on the board?
12 seconds later.
3/4 divided by 2/3. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. My first step is to what? Let's go back to our poster. My first step in blue, so I'm going to grab my blue, is to find the common denominators. Now I know that I can find a common denominator by seeing what's in common. What is the greatest common factor?
She just did that.
Yeah,
We just learned that.
we learned that last week. I'm trying to think about what day it is. So when you guys are doing this, we learned this before break.
Yeah.
All right. So it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's how far advanced we're making this. Today is the 18th of November.
Yes.
So this is how much we work hard for you.
Yes.
Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at 4 and 3, and I'm going to think, 4 can't become 3. What times 4 can equal 3? Nothing. What times 3 can equal 4? Nothing. So now I know I'm going to have to multiply them together. So I'm going to take 3/4, and I'm going to multiply what I do to the top, I do to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the bottom by 3 to get the same denominator, and what denominator, whatever. I'm an alien. Denominator, and I have to multiply that by the top as well. So that equals 12. 4 times 3 is 12, and 3 times 3 is 9. Now, if you have a hard time with the action of multiplying, get your planner. Look up the multiplication chart in your planner. Or, hey, guess what? You're watching this on a computer. Look at it on your computer. You got this.
Yeah.
All right? So now I found the first is my dividend. I know my dividend now is 9/12. Now I need to figure out my divisor. So I'm going to take 2/3 and I'm going to multiply it by 4 on the bottom. And what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. Now I have my divisor, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do 8/12. Now that I have this, my only step with this is to draw a tape diagram of 12. That's my first step, and that's going to be the last thing I do with the denominator. So I'm going to draw 12. 1, 2,
A little less than 12 seconds later.
11, 12. Perfect.
Awesome.
That's not often that I make it perfect.
12.
Okay,
Right.
12. So now, out of the 12, I need to get my pink, which is my red, and I need to draw the dividend. So I'm going to fill in the dividend. So I'm filling in this right here. I'm only going to fill in 9 to show the dividend of the common denominators. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now that I have that 9, that's my most important part. Think of it as I have a thing of brownies and I only have 9/12 left. Well, if I have 8 friends and I want to split that 9/12 up so I can have 8 friends share it, I'm going to look at how many 8s are in 9. So now I don't have to think about the bottom at all. And now I don't have to think about what's left. How many 8s, let me do it by a different color.
Yeah, that might help.
How many 8s fit into 9? Okay? And the easiest way for me to see this is I like to count it out. I know that there's a total of 9, so I'm going to count up to 8 within this 9. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I got 1. So I'm going to come down here and draw my bracket. I'm going to draw 8 over 8. But when you have the same number in the numerator as the denominator, you know that that equals 1 whole. Okay? Then I'm going to look at what I have left. 1. Well, that's all I have. So I know that it's going to be 1 over 8, just like the first one was, because I'm looking for the total parts of 8. So now I'm going to take my green and I'm going to find how many divisors fit in the dividend, right? Taking my green, going to bring it up top. It's going to be 1 right here equals, erase some of this, 1 and 1/8. Okay, awesome, yay.
Yeah.
Let's say I wanted to draw this as a rectangular prism. Let me show you what that would look like really quick. And this one's quick. I know that it would be 9/12 divided by 8/12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, and this is where it connects back to this. I'm going to draw 4 lines this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to draw 3 lines down, making a total piece of 12. That's terribly partitioned. What does the word partition mean? Do you guys know?
Partition, if I look at some of the meaning within the word part, sounds like you're putting things by piece.
Yeah, which you learned last week because we went over it. So now I have a total of 12 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to shade in. I'm going to shade in 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now I'm going to look for 8 of the 9. And it would just be the same way. I would just go through and I would just think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 over 8. And then this one right here is 1 left. That would be 1/8. So you can draw it either way, the tape diagram or the rectangular prism. Just what matters to you, what you like. But use colors.
Colors help.
So, going back, I found the common denominator of the dividend and divisor. I drew the dividend, and I found how many divisors fit in the dividend. That's it, guys. Now rewatch this video if you're stuck, or watch the extra videos at the end of the slide that I found, that we found, that all of us took time to find for you.
You better do
Goodbye.
it. It's your education. Do it. Adios. That's my hand. Mrs. Estrada, show your hand. Adios. All right, bye.